Okay, what we have now is a basic understanding of AI for book writing, where we're going to start off talking about certain things so that we all speak from the same point of view. So it's going to be very simplistic, very brief discussion of AI for writers and self-publishers. It's going to be intentionally basic for now, but over time, we're going to look at methods we can use to interact with the tools in a more complex and detailed way so that you can really get your hands around this. So consider this an intro. All right, artificial intelligence, machine learning, industry buzzwords. We're dealing with the use of massive amounts of data being used to empower machines in ways that might be described as intelligence. So what's the big deal? Internet changed everything, didn't it? I mean, it did. We could get our hands on massive amounts of information, images. We had access to volumes of information through Google and search engines over high-speed connections, but there was only so much we could do with it. Imperfect search returns got in the way. Even the best searches only returned data that resembled what we were asking for. There were things that we had to do a lot with. They didn't truly analyze the data to make intelligent decisions and take action on the results. That was our exclusive human domain. We owned that. But a few decades ago, scientists began to think about seeing the potential for gathering all of that information, everything that's known to mankind. I mean, it sounds kind of weird, but they wanted to analyze all the information in such a way and at incredible speeds so that we might be able to teach the machines to perform intelligent analysis on the data and make decisions on that based on the predictability of AI and the patterns found by this analysis. The pattern recognition changed everything. So enter the world of what we call machine learning. If machines could learn enough about the patterns of, say, text strings, they could also predict the next set of words likely to follow a pattern. If this is true, then maybe they could learn enough to make intelligent decisions. Okay, well, we're getting there. As we gained in data capture, we applied something called neural networks. Neural networks where all these different nodes of information could be linked together through thought, through word patterns and things like that. And so we put these word neural networks into the process. A neural network is a system that teaches computers to process data using a structure that's similar to the way the human brain works. Now, with AI, neural networks are able to look at massive amounts of data and make predictive decisions. Predictive decisions. There's so much to be gained when you can make fairly logical predictive decisions based on so much data in the blink of an eye. And now machines could learn kind of like we do. Examples: intelligent assistants like Alexa and Siri, autonomous vehicles, intelligent warehousing that enables Amazon to operate so fast as to get something from the warehouse into my hands in a day. For our purposes, the current most important AI advance comes under label of what we call generative AI, generative artificial intelligence, or Gen AI or GAI, is all a subset of artificial intelligence that uses LLMs, large language models, to produce texts, images, videos, or other forms of data. These models learn the underlying patterns and structures of the training data, if you could. I don't want to go into too much detail yet. They use them to produce new data. So it's important that we know that this is based on the input, which often comes in the form of natural language prompts. So we give them a natural language prompt, they have to interpret that. So no longer limited to decision making, these generative AI systems could actually generate content. In simple terms, they could gather millions of written texts, look for patterns, study and analyze them, and then take the next miraculous step to create original content. AI on neural networks could identify patterns within existing works to generate original content, take text, images, audio, video, etc., we have experienced huge upticks in computer-generated voices, voiceovers, fake videos, and more. And now AI-generated text. Think of books, scripts, speeches, college-level assignments. But any new technology comes with a price. They're not yet evolved to perfection. The next level of intelligence comes in the form of large language models. These models have evolved quickly to generate intelligent, creative responses to a request, but current LLMs are subject to the errors of something so new. I mean, they get it close, but they don't quite get it where we need it to be to write a book that we could be proud to put our name on, which you can't do, by the way. While a main value of large language models is to study and train on all languages, predicting the next sequence of words in a text model, they sometimes generate nonsensical answers. True. Also, they're based on text that somebody's already written. In short, they can be guilty of plagiarism from time to time. Also, they're subject to the data that they've been trained on and might not be able to make the leap to another type of data, another form of text that they could use to reach logical series of words. So they might be flat out wrong, but they are evolving very quickly, getting better every day. I'll soon be adding some examples of my work with chatbots, mainly ChatGPT for now, to demonstrate the good, the bad, and the ugly sides of large language models and chatbots. It's not perfect, but if you consider what we're talking about, generative AI has the ability to look at data, look at text, look at images, and using text as an example, they can predict what the next series of words in that text would logically be, and then map that against our natural language request to form a result. And that result could be considered to be written, intelligently written. Okay, remember that I did talk about ownership of copyright. Remember that I did talk about possible plagiarism. Remember that I did talk about the facts that these things aren't perfect yet, but they're getting better. Now, come back for the next discussion on this, and we'll go into more detail, but I just wanted to give us a basic understanding. Computers now have the ability to grab and pull in all this text into neural networks and interweave the data and the text within those networks, and then to map our natural language request to the data to come up with what might be considered to be an intelligent result. And that would be an example would be, hey, ChatGPT, write me a short story. And I want you to have in the short story a soldier in the Civil War in Gettysburg who was from the South, and he got wounded and he went to hide in the city of Gettysburg, and he meets and falls in love with a young lady who lives there, and her brother has been wounded for the other side, and kind of developed a love story there. And ChatGPT could actually come back to me with something kind of going in the direction of what I asked for. And I actually did that. So I'm going to work on that process. But again, if you have any questions, any comments, please put them in the form of comments down below. And if you like what you're seeing so far, hit that like and subscribe buttons, and we'll go from there. Thanks a lot. See you next time.